Hey, Sinbad. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
You got that big event coming up in a couple of weeks. When did you find out that you were part of it?
It was about, dude, this has been going on for about, oh man, about 3, 4 months. Dude, right. I think it was March or April. They've been talking about it and been talking about it. And then I don't know what had happened to it, and then I was reading up on XOD, man, on demand and what they're trying to do. And it's incredible what that company is about. And it became a big event. So I kept that. I mean, I love you. First, I love your pinball machine. I like your Pac-Man, bro. I
Thank
love
you
that.
very much, man.
Is that in the living room, man? Is that in the living room?
That's in the living room. The wife let me have it,
I'm about to
and
say you must be single. I'm about to say you must be a single man, bro, because that's never been done.
you know what? At first, she said, "Yeah, fine." Then I know she was playing it more than me. Then I realized it's
Ooh.
good furniture to just have an
Oh.
arcade game. Do you have one in your home?
Dude, I had one like my wife and I were divorced for 11 years. Said my other house, dude, I had the one, the race car one, where you sit in the race car. Dude, I had two of them in the living room. It was in an alcove. It was perfect. But when I got back, everything had to go.
Inevitability.
Everything,
Well, you
everything
do
had
one
to
or
go.
two gigs, and then you can get another one. So there you but back to you, like this upcoming event is super star studded. This event that it's being put on a big network and all that. Are you just hosting, or are you doing a little stand up?
No, I just have a segment. I have a segment. At first, I thought I was gonna host some stuff, and I think there's 4 or 5 comics sprinkled throughout. I know you got Paul Rodriguez is one of the comics.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to think who the other comics are because I don't even have the full list. There's so many. This thing got so big. This gobbler got so big. They got so. I mean, they got a gospel section. You got a hip hop section. You got a R&B section. I mean, you got
Yeah.
comics. So it's a really big event. I'm looking at. I'm doing a 15-minute segment, but originally they said, "Hey man, could you just do a 15-minute video and send it to us?" I said, "15 minutes? What, to nobody? A 15-minute stand up with nobody?" That
Right.
I said, obviously you don't understand what this comedy works like. So we talked about it. So what I'm gonna do is actually do a Zoom and invite some of my followers onto the Zoom so I can get maybe 100 people so in the room
Yeah.
and doing like a question and answer kind of thing so we can make it, at least make it cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, can I ask you about your career besides this event? Because long time fan, man.
Oh, anything, man. What you want to know?
So I was in the theater to see Make Me Want to Holler when you did it as the one night Fathom event special.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of it, you had a bass when you were in character. And I've
Oh
seen
yeah.
videos of you performing with Victor Wooten. Of
Yeah.
course, you were always on the road with Prince. Do you yourself play bass?
I play bass came later. I was a drummer, then percussion, then I learned to play guitar, then I picked up the bass. Now I'm trying to learn how to play piano. I thought I'd be further along during this COVID. I found out about COVID.
What's
You
that?
set big dreams, but you got to treat it like a regular day. This is
Yeah.
not like a special day. It takes the same kind of discipline. We thought there was gonna be a miracle. I'm gonna get cut up, and you realize, man, I gotta get my mind right because the whole day can go by and you didn't do jack. You didn't even
Yeah.
go outside, man. So I'm learning how to play saxophone. I've been trying to do that, but I'm back on it and trombone.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you, in my opinion, were the first comic who is putting music into what you're doing. If we look at the album Brain Damaged, which my
Um,
friend Joe Hassan reminded me, that song turned a lot of people onto the message by Grandmaster Flash. A lot of
yeah.
people didn't know it before you put it on there. The music thing, is that something that you ever thought of doing like for real, like doing an album?
Well, I got a band called Stank Nasty, and my
Really?
alter ego's name is Memphis Red. So it's Memphis
Yeah.
Memphis Red. That's who you saw on Make Me Want to Holler. That was Memphis Red that came out and played the guitar. So my thing is, music to me was always over comedy. Even coming up, man, I played drums coming up. So I always, from day one, I always had music involved with my comedy. Even my first stand-up special, Brain Damage, I came out and danced with some dances. So it's always music, musicians. It's always been special. They're very special people. People that play music, man, it's a God gift, man. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not a prodigy, it's still a God gift if you worked hard to learn
Yeah.
it. I remember a guy once told me, I was always trying to be this prodigy. I said, man, God didn't give me any talent. He said, man, will you quit being lazy? He said, just quit being lazy. I said, what? He said, 80% of musicians are not prodigies. And the other 20% of prodigies work hard. He
Yeah.
said, now there's some prodigies that we'll never hear about because they didn't use the gift right, because they were prodigies. Because when you see a little kid go to the piano and just start playing and can't speak yet, that's a prodigy.
Hmm.
That's a gift. When a person considered the piano has never touched an instrument and start playing, like, how do you even know? That's a gift.
Yeah.
But he told me a guy that has a gift and the guy that outworks him, you can't tell who the prodigy is or who the gift is.
Wow.
So you just have to outwork. You have to outwork it. You have to work it.
Well, another thing that intrigues me about you is you were from Detroit before it was cool to be from
I'm
Detroit.
from Benton Harbor. I'm on the other side. I'm from Benton Harbor, Michigan. I'm all the way over by Chicago. I'm on Lake Michigan on the other side.
Well, being a music guy and coming from that part of Michigan and all that,
Uh-huh.
were you around for the MC5 and Grand Funk and Alice Cooper and all that?
Yeah, Grand Funk is up there by oh, come on, man. I used to go. We always had Grand Funk Railroad. Somebody was spraying it. We played basketball against them. Grand Haven.
Yeah.
Up there by Grand Haven, Michigan and stuff, man. Grand Funk. See, Grand Funk was some funky white dudes. Grand Funk, because remember, I think back in rock, you look at rock in the 70s,
Yeah.
everybody was kind of taken from everything. And the fact that they called themselves Grand Funk Railroad, they had respect for me for using the word funk, man.
Yeah.
Now, Alice Cooper, I got a chance to meet him later in my life, and he's cool. I mean, there's a Midwest sound, dude. There's a Midwest sound. Here's funny. That Motown sound that came out of Detroit, right? That's the R&B. Remember, all that came from like 2 or 3 neighborhoods, bro.
Hmm.
That big sound came from that city. But then when funk happened, it was Ohio, Dayton,
Right.
Cincinnati. You know, I don't know what it is. Somebody has to do a documentary. What is it about that area that made it so funky, man? Cleveland, Dayton, Cincinnati. What made it so funky, man?
Yeah. Wild Cherry. Good point. They are an Ohio band.
Ohio,
And then out
man.
of nowhere, Gap Band is from Tulsa, is it?
But hey, that's not out of nowhere. Tulsa got some funky dudes. If you know anything about Tulsa, Tulsa got some funky cats, man. Remember, it was Leon uh,
Russell.
Hum.
Leon Russell.
Yeah, Leon Russell was the one that found Gap Band. So that's funny.
Exactly. So besides this big event you got coming up, and you just told me the band that you're doing, like everyone, you're kind of waiting around going, what's coming next? But do you have any projects or things in the can that you can talk about?
You don't wait for it. You keep trying to create something. You know, we're all trying to create something online, but you don't want to. I had a big idea,
Uh-huh.
and I can't get Netflix to buy it. I had a big idea, and I'm scared now they're gonna mess around and do it with somebody else. I said, all you gotta do is put me in a room, any kind of theater. I don't care size. It could be 1,500 seat. All I need is 100 people in the audience, and give me some LED screens. I want to do the first stand up where it's just 100 people in the audience so I can hear laughter, but I've got LED screens and a big LED screen behind me, and I can talk to the audience at home. First stand up special where the audience at home told me what way to go. You pick my jokes. You tell me the topics right there, right live. But I want to showcase what my skill level is, and they ain't biting, bro.
What
I can't.
about Comedy Dynamics? That sounds like something they'd be all up into.
Who's Comedy Dynamics? I don't know who that is.
They've been doing a lot of specials for people. One of the first big ones they did was Bob Saget, and it's kind of like a direct to consumer model where I guess they help make it and then it goes on the video on demand.
I'm looking. I hope it's not this guy. I think it is because I can't stand him.
Well, I think it's a guy named Brian Volkweiss. You don't have to say whether or not that's a guy you can't stand, but I'll send some info to your assistant if you want to be connected.
You had to say it.
Okay. Well, anyway, I hope
I know he is. And we have history.
I'll edit this one out. Okay.
No, you can keep it in. I have no problem with it because I've forgiven and I moved on. And it happened during the brain damage. I mean, during the Make Me Want to Holler special, bro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
It was
Shout
the most
Factory. I'm
it
sure
was
there's a lot of people who would get it because let's face it, how many comics have had success on and you don't have to take this compliment, but how many comics have been having success on this level for 30 plus years like you have?
Man, you know what? I appreciate that. I thought that was gonna mean something. I thought, dude, I'm gonna tell you something. I thought I was walking into a, Netflix, like, oh man, they can't wait to get a guy like, cause there's nobody. I said, I'm like one of the few left alive. I said, still got game. It's like, like George, what George Carlin meant to me.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh God, I'm George Carlin age now. I said, I'm that dude now. I'm that guy now. So I'm thinking, yeah, this is gonna work. And then, dude, it was like not interest. It was like, what?
Yeah.
Dude, you talking about, it's not even blow to the ego. I'm like, what are y'all seeing? So you know what I did? I sat down one weekend. I watched every Netflix comedy special. Because I was trying to find the rhythm of it. And then I realized there's no rhythm. It's there's no rhythm to it. It's whatever they want, whatever they're looking for. I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know what they're looking for.
But the key is, as a guy who did the sitcom thing, who hosted shows, etc., you became a theater comedian and kept up the theater comedian. So when I look at your career, it's kind of like an accidental cottage industry. Do I have that wrong?
As far as comedy, no, my thing was I came in the game, at that time all there was HBO specials. And when I hit my HBO special, it was the highest rated special on HBO. I think my first two were. So man, for a while I was a man on HBO. I was doing my funk festivals. I don't know if you know, but I had a music special for 5 years. If you go on YouTube, look up Sinbad Soul Music Festival. So dude, for 5 years I took funk bands to the Caribbean. And then I shot a stand-up special down there. Nothing but the funk. I shot that down there. So, dude, I was in St. Martin, Aruba, Jamaica, and where else I go? St. Martin, Aruba, Jamaica, and St. Thomas.
Wow, I've got homework to do.
Yeah, dude. So so that music part has always been a big part of it and everything. But it's funny how I don't think they know. I don't, to this day, I don't think cats know really what I do. I said I can get on stage. I even offered this up to Netflix. I will do the first Netflix special where my special Afros and Bell Bottoms was shot live.
Yeah, I saw that.
Not live. So I said, let me be the first one on Netflix. It's gonna be a first airing anyway. Let the first airing be live. And it's the audience tells me, I get a list right before the show, any subjects, and I'll do it live that way. And now with Zoom being big, because I was on Zoom back then, it's hard to explain stuff. Now it's big, but I couldn't explain it back then. So I'm glad all this is happening. And then I said, okay, let's make it bigger for you. Give me 3 specials. I'll shoot them in 3 days in a row, all different stuff. I said, you don't even have to space them out. We can do 3 days in the same place, or 3 days. I'll fly to another city the next day, and I'll fly to another city. I said, I'll give you 3 specials in 3 days.
Still putting in the work.
I'll still do stand-up. I ain't gonna stop doing stand-up. Also, I believe this in my heart.
Yeah.
It's coming. I don't know when it's coming, but I'm always gonna be ready. I'm always gonna be prepared. I even think I've never been off the road 35 years. I've never been off the road longer than 2 weeks. Now you're talking about almost 4 months.
Right.
But for me, it's like an athlete with the muscles get a chance to rest. It's like, oh man, it's like my brain is firing off in different ways that it hasn't in a long time. So my job is to be in shape, be ready when it comes, because we never know what's going to come. There's nothing worse than your time comes like, oh, I need to lose 30 pounds.
Right.
Oh, I need to. So my thing is just to be ready.
Right.
It's like sports, just be ready, man.
Just like you showed in Necessary Roughness, or was it Unnecessary Roughness?
Necessary. Some people, it's necessary. It's necessary.
Well, 2 quick questions, and then you're a free man. And the first one, out of nowhere, you knew everybody, you worked with everybody, but I've never heard any stories of you interacting with Rodney Dangerfield. Was he a guy that you were around?
Rodney Dangerfield, I met him. Rodney Dangerfield, I got a chance to meet. I was just, all these comics. I'm in Vegas, kid. Oh, I look at you. You're all over the place. Look at you, man. You're loving it. Oh, I hate you. You're loving it. You're just loving it. He says, don't let it kick you in your ass. I was like, he was just so cool. I respected him. I said, man, Rodney, you came back. You were an older man when
Yeah.
those movies hit. I mean, he was an older man. Remember, Rodney became this person that college kids was loving.
Right.
Because when he did the movie, went back to school, and it's like in his older age, he had this huge career, man. Huge career, man.
Right. He was on the Ed Sullivan show's Jack Roy for like
Yeah,
20
yeah.
years before he made it.
Ain't that crazy, man?
Exactly. So I'll ask the closer, man, and that's any last words for the kids?
You know, man, I look at him. I don't know what to tell a young comic because your path will be nowhere near what my path was.
Hmm.
My path was based on the path of those came before me. The opportunities for them are not the same. We could work comedy clubs. There were comedy clubs everywhere. You could hone your craft. It's like playing basketball. I can get out there, I can play. Their playing is here online. Their playing is creating this persona. It's like, oh, I hope I go viral. Well, I hope you go viral, but I hope you got more than 20 minutes because 20 minutes becomes 10. Sometimes it becomes 5. I said, I challenge you to jump on the stage, even for no money. See, they're about money now. They're all like, I can get my money, I can get my money. I got sponsors, I got 9 trillion followers. I said, but when you go do a show, if only 3,000 people come and you don't have 9 trillion followers. If you go do a show and only 3,000 people came, then that's your super fans. That's your true fans. You got to tell the difference between a true fan and people who just follow you because it's convenient to turn the computer on. You want to develop true fans from being on stage.
Paltrocast.